have switched on to it. Please, this is one of my best gifts this afternoon. And I want to thank God for the privilege. When you hear visualize, it is trying to talk about developing a consciousness of sight that rescue you from looking at so many directions. Developing a consciousness of what? Of sight that rescue you. Now, visualization rescue every living man from confusion and worry. Yesterday when we were going, I told them, I said, the Jews do homegrown. You don't need to send your children to the best school in Nigeria. You need to train him in the house. Don't worry about actualization. Worry about visualization. I said, don't worry about actualization. Worry. Visualization cannot work until there is focus on looking at a definite direction. Listen, having focus on looking at a definite direction is the number one blessing on earth. Let me say it again. I say having focus on looking at a definite direction is number one, is blessing number one. There is no blessing superior to looking at definite direction with focus. God will say to Jeremiah 1 verse 11 and 12, say, Jeremiah, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Please look up here. All the mistakes that brought death came from confusion or blindness. Came from, they are all product of, because you see, please look here. Anytime you pay attention to things you're not meant to see, you will lose your life. You will lose part of your life rather than your people. Anytime you pay attention to things you're not meant to see, you will lose part of your life. So with God, is it possible for God to prosper a man without being sure of what the man is seeing? Can there be birth without conception? Some people care about birth without talking about conception. You see, because they are deceived. You have to conceive a child, grow the child before you can give birth, and there cannot be conception without intercourse. That means there is fellowship. That is, and intimacy cannot come without continuous looking at each other. I say intimacy cannot come without continuous. I need to tell you, one of the ways to know electric, that is, a man you will marry, a girl you will marry, somebody that you love, is that willingness for fellowship must be there. Because there must be willingness for fellowship before there can be intercourse that will bring conception. Now, the word birth is not serious after conception. And the word birth is synonymous to actualization. I said the word birth is synonymous to. So actualize, that is, somebody said that man is rich. It's not difficult. It's not difficult for someone to be rich if the sight of a man is tamed. Let me say it again. I said if the sight of a man what the Igbos do. What the Igbos do. Somebody was telling me the other day about how they levied. Somebody died and they levied people big amount of money in one family. They levy people. That is wherever people die, they levy people. What those senseless people do around the Igbo land is to create, is to try, just like in 1 month, I had about 3-4 families who it happened to. A family that is struggling want to do expensive burial on a dead man because their mind is wounded. The money you people are contributing to give befitting burial is for what reason? Is it to say that the man that died is a rich man or what? Or that you people are rich? And excuse me, is it through burial that you talk about that people are rich? Somebody who is already rich, somebody who, so excuse me, if I didn't do big burial, I would be less than shepherd. Shameful thing. Very shameful thing. Very shameful thing. It's big burial that made David Oyedepo. W.F. Kumuyi. People should get name. People should get name. I had a guy that told me about 12 years ago when Soludo was governor of Anambra, was a CBN governor. I think he lost somebody. I don't know who he lost. The guy said that his cow to Soludo there was a 31st. That is, that people were bringing cow there. When he brought his own, he discovered that his own was 31st. That's 31. But somebody went and bought cow himself because he doesn't have name. Now, some of those distractions, some of those distractions you see are part of looking at the wrong direction. I said it is part of somebody who is looking at the wrong direction will do something wrong. In the book of Jeremiah 1 and 11 and 12, he said, Jeremiah, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? You want to do bogus burial to create impression to senseless people? For what? It is still part of the problem of certain background. The other day they say Queen have died. They are taking her to Edinburgh. They want to take her to Ireland. I say shameful people. A woman that dies since happens anyone goes weak. Keep her on the earth so that she can rest. Keep on carrying her up and down. Motona, you are an old woman. Motona, your broken body. If she's a Muslim, they would have kept her down long. Long. They kept her down long. Understanding it is still part of the honor of that group. But if somebody is not seeing anything clearly, then the person is doomed. He can do anything. There can be holiness. And nothing outstanding can be actualized. Because the energy should be depleted at so many directions. If my energy is depleted, how can I be here? Staying here and be sharing this intelligence is part of the actualization. Because this is my 8th sharing now. This is sharing number 8, and I'm going to finish the 10. You already know it. If I'm saying it, then I have to. Oh, wow. If you can imagine it, if you can see it, if you can labor for it, if you can labor for it, then you shall actualize it. I say, if you can labor for it, then if you can dream it. Listen, can you say praise God? Let me give you a gift. Can you say praise God? No matter how your energy is small, invest it in a known direction. Be careful about what you're doing with it. I said, no matter how small your energy is, be mindful of what you're doing with it, and it will show. The Babylonians, please, I would like you to hear. The Babylonians in 11:6 of the book of Revelation, they calmed their imagination, and then they received strength to build a city and the tower. That is a secret. In Genesis chapter 11 verse number 6, they calmed their what? They calmed their strength. They calmed. There is no blessing superior to calm you, my friend. Calm your strength. A lot of us have friends that are not useful. End with them. End up with them and make new friends. Don't contact another friend until you have another value. And then make new friends of your new value. Having new value will not be difficult if you keep on looking at a different direction, because visualization will always bring actualization. It's not about laboring. It's about looking at the wrong direction. It's about forming something. Please, I'm going to stop now. This and go on. Or what visionary spirit do in men? May God bless me for telling you. What visionary spirit accomplishes in men is protecting them from confusion, from looking at something they must not see, from ending a relationship when it should be ended, and from starting a relationship when it should be started, and then from protecting themselves. Because if Joseph refused Potiphar's wife, it means protection. If Joseph told his dream, it means protection. Let me ask you to listen. It is part of weakness to keep a relationship that needs to die, and it is part of weakness to lack ability to deepen a relationship that should help you go forward. To start up a relationship and get it deep, then move on. Every new season we require a new move. I say again, every new season we require a new move. If there is poverty in any family, then people have devoted to wrong things, because everybody's life can achieve something. If that life didn't achieve something tangible, then that life was scattered. I said that life, it was scattered. How do you scatter it? First of all, the thought. You start thinking something you're not supposed to think. You mind so many things you're not supposed to mind. Because discipline to tame thought is a great blessing. Discipline. Excuse me. Listen. Except on earth, except I have any reason from God to do anything, I'm not going to enter, I'm not going to go to any airport until next year. And this is only September. For what? I have capacity to tame myself. I have capacity to look at a different direction. I have capacity to know what I don't need and to say no to it. All dreamers are like that. All great men are like that. When you hear Microsoft, the life of Bill Gates ended. When you say Apple, the life of Steve Jobs ended. When you say church, the life of Jesus ended. When you say deeper life, the life of Kumuyi ended. When you say locust army, I have ended. So why is it difficult for you to end your life? I don't know the name of the wife of Michael Adenuga, but I know Globalcom. That means Globalcom is more important than Michael, than his wife. Don't listen. Don't joke with something that raises your flag. Who cares about the number of children you have? They care about the emblem of immortality. What I mean by emblem of immortality is a visualization, a logo that represents you. How will I know the name of Dangote's wife? What am I doing with that? That is why most of the men that are rich paid attention on their business and use what their business produce to feed their children. Some people can't pay attention on their business, they pay on children. Because they don't know what to seek with their life. I've always talked about Joseph and the throne of Egypt in 41 of Genesis. What will I be doing with the name of the wife of Joseph? And if you are telling us about your wife, what about those of us who are not married? How do we respect you? If you are a preacher and you take microphone and be talking about your wife, how do I listen to you? I know you're mad. You're talking about your wife around people who are not married like us. How do we listen? Marrying a wife and having children, is he accomplishing a vision? Nobody gets immortal through it. Your wife should feed on what vision produces. I say so she's not a focus. Tesla is his wife. Most of those men, that's why they don't have stable wife. They don't have stable families. God does not give you two gifts. Your wife told you, say everywhere you go, you must go for what? It's impossible. You can't live for her, you live for your dream. You live for your dream. If you want to be a great man, you live for your dream. Whether it's trying to help you. But let me repeat what I said before I go on. Please hear me. If there is looking steady towards a given direction, there will be no delay. Can I tell you something? If you look up now, I'm going to give you a gift. I know I will get money to finish this building, and I'm not resting my mind on any human being. What I will do is to come here and serve. I will get busy with vision. I will get busy with my vision. I will get busy with this thing. I will get busy with this. I'm not going to shout no revelation. I'm going to come back in the night to write and pray. I'm going to get busy. I'm going to go home in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to sit down for about 9 hours, and I'm not going to lack money. but I'm not going to look for money. I'm going to get busy with what I was born to do, and then other things will follow it. And then other will naturally follow it. But don't forget, if you are a Joseph, you have to lose your life to vision. What about if there is no vision, dream? How do you lose your life? If there is nothing that is showing you where to look at, you can look at anything. If you are not like the strength to kill Goliath came from the preservation of David. David came from abundance of preservation, and then Goliath died. Noah came from the abundance of preservation, and then a family was preserved in the flood. God will not allow your life to be delayed if you understand the importance of looking at a different direction. That is, visualize. Because I'm not teaching fully on it. I'm going to make a book on it, maybe during 40 days. But meanwhile, imagination is everything is about to come out. Beautiful. That is bringing me to that thing I told you. In 21:4-9 of Numbers, Israel murmured against God and against Moses, and snake beat them. And God looked at Moses when he was trying to pray, and God told him, I said, don't ever think of praying. Tell the people, as many as snake beat, they should look at the copper serpent, and those that looked very well shall be healed. Look at where? At the copper serpent. He said, Moses, you shall make a bronze. You shall make Moses, you shall make a snake, a bronze serpent, a copper snake, and hang upon a pole like the time they crucified Jesus. And tell all who are wounded to look. I have never seen anything that helped me like looking properly. I have never seen where power is stored like a sight. Now the looking is that you have to lift your eyes if you want to be healed. So when Jesus came, he became, in John chapter 3, he became like a serpent.